Next email. What's up, everybody? It's Sugar Erica from the Classy Climb blog. We mused next a little bit to give us a little bit more voice for tonight. If you could drop your city and state in the chat, this is a twofer for the day. And listen, I kept it simple. I call this one "How to Weatherproof Your Laugh Through the Storms," because clearly, right now, if he didn't get a chance to see my earlier show, I talked about how New York, New Jersey, and Philly, as well as Louisiana, a lot of landlords are about to get paid via insurance and also tenant removal because a lot of people will not be able to stay in those units. So again, DJ the Money Coach has a background in insurance and financial advising. So we're going to let him come on and get us ready and get us right for the rest of 2021. Introduce yourself to the audience, please.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is DJ the Money Coach. I am the founder of the 7 Spheres of Money system. And I, like you, at one point in time, used to be dead broke. I had a 525 credit score, had $40,000 worth of personal consumer credit debt, in addition to $20,000 worth of student loans. So I had 60 grand in debt, 525 credit score. I had my car repoed. I got garnished my wages for my student loan. Man, lived in a 1-bedroom, hole in the wall apartment. So I've been there. Ain't nothing that you can tell me that you've gone through that I have not experienced in this world of entrepreneurship. But the great thing is when I got rejected for the first mortgage that I applied for, even though I had professional income, had money in the bank, and then I got rejected for a small business loan a couple of years later. Instead of me playing victim, ladies and gentlemen, I dove into education mode. I read a book called The Road to Wealth. I actually read the 1 chapter about credit, how personal credit actually works. And here's the ironic part about the irony of it is I actually went to school to become a CPA, but never taught me anything about personal finances. I could tell you everything about corporate finances, did not know jack about personal finances. But once I read that chapter about how personal finance work and credit works, within 12 months, and this is before the internet is wide open as is. I'm talking, this is back in the mid 90s, okay? I know I look young, but I've been on this planet for 5 decades. So this was when I was in my late 20s and access to information was still hard to get. So you literally had to read books, go to the library, get hooked up. You couldn't just type in Google because guess what? Google didn't exist. That's right, Google didn't exist. Yahoo was just barely being born. There was no Facebook. There was no Twitter. All the stuff that you have. There was no Instagram. None of that stuff. So I did it old school. Okay. So 12 months from there, by grinding out, not getting credit lines, not filing personal bankruptcy, which was suggested to me multiple times, I signed my name on them credit cards and I assumed the responsibility of paying that stuff off. So within 12 months, my credit score rose to 720. 24 months, my credit score rose above 800. And I actually paid off all my consumable debt 3 years. I want you to hear this. 3 years. See, it didn't take me 3 weeks, 3 days, 3 months. It took me 6 years to get in that much debt. And it took me 3 years to get out of it, to take accountability for my actions. Even though I didn't know, I still signed my name on the paper. Okay. So in 3 years, I got all my consumable debt, had an 800 credit score. And then 3 years later, a total of 6 years, I rose to a $250,000 income and a 7-figure net worth by building businesses, investing the business revenues into real estate, and leveraging the tax laws through the proper entity structures. And then I went on the pathway to what's called a P.O.M lifestyle. That's plenty of money and peace of mind. And along the way, ladies and gentlemen, I built a program called the 7 Spheres of Money system. And I built a course called Family Finance 101 that taught the basics of finance to middle class America. And that was 2 decades ago. And the ironic thing about it too is that still the same challenges are faced for people right now, and the winter is coming because they don't have the foundation to the model of real success in place. They make money, but they don't know how to keep money. So we teach people how to keep money. We've been doing this for 2 decades. We have professionals on our team. And what the 7 Spheres of Money is real simple. You know, if you don't know this, you're making money, but What are you doing with the money? It's accounting, it's insurance, it's banking, financial planning, real estate, estate planning, and legal. It's a system that corporate America applies all the time. And I'm gonna tell you, I meet people who make 2 million a year. I meet people who make 200,000 a year. And the difference between that person who make 2 million and 200,000, the person with 2 million, they got a complete system in place to duplicatable. They got a system, they got a team, and then most importantly, what you don't have, they have access to mentorship at the next level of the 1%ers. So Erica teaches a program, the rising 20%, then there's the 10%, then there's the top 1%. And the question is, how do you get in that room? And that's what we do. We help people get in that room, and that enables us to weatherproof ourselves through any scenario which is coming on the shore right now. It's on the shore. Because like you just said, Erica, the evictions, 750,000 evictions, they happen because all these people be getting this free lunch, stimulus, and moratorium on rental property. It's a wrap, baby.
Yeah, just one day ago in New York, they tried to extend it to January, and then the storm came through. And so this is some of the pictures of basement apartments. These people can't stay in these basement apartments. And insurance companies will have to come check out all these places that are flooded. So you will not be able to move back in there in like 2 days. None of that's going to happen. There's 750,000 people who are behind rent in New York. It's only second behind. Oh, actually, it's 700,000, and then in California, it's 750,000. So,
yep. So it's here, and the thing is, hey, be in this for the long term. Okay, understand the difference between rich and wealth, and then I want you to understand the difference between freedom and wealth. Here's the thing: everybody out here pursuing wealth and riches, but what you actually should be pursuing is freedom, financial independence, where you can be 100% you, 24/7, 365, and you can go anywhere you want to go, and have the resources from the assets, from the systems and the team that you can do whatever you want to do. You don't have to make $1 million a year to live like a millionaire. You really, all you need to do is to have zero debt freedom, just like our buddy Tim Jackson says, F out of debt. My thing is get out of debt, you know, but it's the same thing. But, you know, some people got to relate to the person that bring the message. But at the end of the day, the same thing is no discernible consumable debt. Once you get that off of your back, you will be free to actually scale up in anything you do. Now, do we take on debt? Yes. In a corporate structure, we leverage lines of credit cards, and stuff like that. And we only do it to make us money. We do the game that's called arbitrage. Okay. So if you don't know what that is, then that means you need to come plug into a system. And then again, if you are on these platforms, all of a sudden you made your first 50,000, your first 100,000, your first $250,000. What is your plan to retain that money? No, don't tell me I got 500 properties, but your money is sitting stagnant in somebody's banking account. I don't care if it's a digital banking account, infinity account, your money's sitting stagnant. And unless you got a plan for that money all the time, money has to move. Velocity of cash. You are losing. And because you didn't plan to be successful, your hustle is now going to catch you on the back end because you're out there doing all this expensive stuff and you showing people stuff that they ain't happy for you. Let me put it to you, 100 grand. It's good that you can show it, but they want that for themselves.
I mean, that's the problem with rich Twitter right now. They keep, oh, this person's a scam and that person's a scam, and they extend these people. And I'm like, you got people spending all these hours digging through people's history. And I'm like, you should be focused on people who are teaching you how to get the P.O.M lifestyle. Instead of watching the P.O.M lifestyle, go get it.
Exactly. So, Robert Kiyosaki says, number one thing that a successful business owner does is mind his or her own business. Remember that growing up, say, mind your own business? But they were talking about your personal stuff. But in the business world,
sweep around your own door.
I ain't got time to be looking at Black Twitter, rich Twitter, because I'm working on DJ Twitter.
Y'all hit that like button. Listen, I powered up on some Mucinex, so let's do this, y'all.
That's right. And again, shout out to you, Erica, because you put on an amazing tool. People don't realize the work, the responsibility, the duty of what you just pulled off. That ain't a small task. And I was telling people when we were in Atlanta together that I done that. I didn't put shows on. That stuff is stressful. It's a whole bunch of responsibility. You know what the thing about it is? You always got somebody looking for you to trip up. They're not looking at the stuff you're doing right. They just looking for, man, let me see her fumble. Let me see it. Because guess what? Their insecurity is being projected out onto the social media because they ain't willing to do the work.
Create opportunities for themselves.
Exactly. So they want to, throw the haterade your way instead of, embracing the system that you created, putting a team together like you put together, and then accessing it, and then do them 4 dirty little words. It used to be 2 dirty little words. Now it's 4. Number 1, discipline, baby. Number 2, accountability. Number 3, plug into a system. If you ain't got a system, you got to plug into one. And number 4, you got to put your head down and put that work in. And let me share this with you. It ain't going to get you solid in 3 weeks, 3 months. If you want to have sustainability like Erica has, like the people on our team have, it's 3 years to 5 years. There ain't nobody I know after sitting down with 25,000 that have a 6-figure income and a 7-figure net worth that didn't achieve it in 3 to 5 years. Yep, I hear you. Every now and then there's a supernova that ain't duplicatable that did it in 3 months and did it in 3 weeks. But you know what I find out in longevity, Erica? A lot of times you don't see them in the future.
Nope.
They gone. You know why? Because soon as they made it, soon as they spent it. Because they're showing that image in their pursuance, and they're not free. They're pursuing wealth, and they're burning their riches, just like athletes and entertainers. That's a key factor. So in order to weatherproof yourself, you have to have systems, teams, access, and membership or mentorship to somebody who's up at the other part of the base, like climbing a mountain, Mount Everest, and they actually like the Sherpa, giving you instructions to get you there, and most importantly, get you at the top. Good thing. Black Goddess, I just did my 3-year plan. Now here's the most important piece. You need to be sitting down. If you are an entrepreneur, but you really should be striving to be a small business owner. But if you're an entrepreneur, you should be sitting down with your team twice a year, minimum, going over your plan and seeing what the projections, what the mileposts and the goalposts are. And if you are a small business owner like Erica and myself, guess what? Every 90 days. And I hear you. Why I got to do? Because guess what? Let me ask you a question. Does McDonald's sit down and do a quarterly report? Does Subway do a quarterly report? Do they get a financial report every year for the shareholders? If you're going to run a business and it's going to be multi-generational wealth, you need to be subscribing to the same blueprint. But we don't do that because we so in pursuance of getting the trappings of materialism that we forget there's responsibility once you get it.
How many times have you heard people say, I need a G-Wagon?
Right.
All over internet, all over Instagram, all over Twitter. G-Wagon, G-Wagon, G-Wagon. You're like, guys, give it a rest, please, with the G-Wagon thing.
Right. And here's the thing, man. I got this great book I'm going to tell y'all about, but I'm going to tell you about. But in this book, the guy talks about preparing a defensive strategy for the realities of hardships that come every time in everybody's life. It ain't an if, it's a when. W-H-E-N. Okay. But we don't think about, we think about, hey, everything's going to be always, rainbows and sugar lumps and, cookies and all that and ice cream all the time. But it's not. And that's when you have a great defensive strategy and a great team that you have liquidity to offset these pandemics, these evictions, we are landlords, yourself and myself, and when we don't get rent because the moratorium prevents us from getting our rent, we have a strategy in place to actually hedge those losses. So if you're serious about getting a six-figure income, be consumer debt free, and actually controlling and be at 100% you all the time, first thing you got to do is plug into a system. Second thing is get a team. And here's the thing. I'm not impressed with the person say, hey, man, I'm going to go roll up and do the rehabs myself. Guess what? Hey, man, I love you for doing that. But you know what the smart person does? They go find the people that want to do the work, pay them, manage it, and live the lifestyle. But if you don't have no other choice, then roll up your sleeves and go do it. I own real estate, but I don't love real estate. It's a necessary evil to have in my portfolio for a couple of, vibrant reasons. Number one, it's great passive income. Number two, it's the slow and permanent way to building sustainable wealth. And then the third and the fourth part, the best part, is we get to leverage so many write-offs legally with the proper entity structure. But I ain't never hammered a nail, Erica. I ain't never put no roofs on. I ain't never changed no AC units. But I own multiple properties, and I vetted the people to do it. You know what I'm saying? But if that's your passion is real estate, then go get it and have a plan. And this is part of weatherproofing yourself. A wealth of common sense. That's a great thing. So that's funny because my grandfather says, common sense is not common knowledge amongst most people.
Yeah. I was bringing up because you're talking about real estate. People are like, oh, I'll never buy rentals ever. I'll never invest in rentals. And I'm like, really? Well, BlackRock just decided they're going to put $5 billion in single family rentals. I think they know something we don't know. They know people love to live in a house, and they know a lot of people are not getting themselves together. A lot of people got the car before they got pre-approved for the house.
Exactly.
So they know you're going to rent, and so they're investing in real estate. So again, a lot of people, oh, I'll never buy single family. And I'm talking to a lot of landlords who are already, their tenants are sharpening up because they thought, oh my God, August, oh my God, October. So,
I mean, they do a demographic research. We're about to embark on a major project. And the first thing we did, just like a corporation is going to move into a new city, we went and did a demographic research. You know how you find that out, ladies and gentlemen? Go to the city's website. They'll give you the demographics on jobs, schools, businesses, incomes, all of that stuff, and tell you what the percentages are to fit your model. Guess what that plugs into again? Systems.
Right. No, the P.O.M lifestyle is peace of mind. Say it again for them because somebody asked in the chat.
They're plenty of money, peace of mind. Plenty of money gives you peace of mind only and only if you're consumer debt free.
P.O.M lifestyle. So this month we've had over 150,000 new people to the channel. Welcome again. My name is Erica Williams, a Classy Climb blog, author of Smartphone Millionaire, How to Invest in People, Businesses, and Real Estate from the Palm of Your Hand. I realized from your names, a lot of people are new to the channel. This is DJ the Money Coach. He just joined us on tour in Atlanta, where we had over half the room were from another city, another state. And what we learned is we asked them why did they come, and they said winter is coming. So Tora Helms, thank you for the $30 super chat here. She said, I'm moving to Alabama next year. What is the best industry to start a small business? I'm going to recommend her do a self-assessment, but go ahead, DJ. You tell me.
Well, you know what, Erica? I was going to say the same thing. The funny thing is, in my new book, which we launched on your tour, The ABCs of Wealth, the Common Sense Strategy to Achieve an American Dream, Tora, the first thing we tell you to do is take a personal assessment. Take a personal assessment of your finances, your talents, and your dreams. And then once you get those all lined up, then we'll find what Jim Collins called the hedgehog concept and show you the right business that is recession proof to start you in. Because any industry, to be honest with you, is a great industry to get in if you have a plan, if you have a personal assessment, if you have systems, and if you have teams. And see, a lot of these businesses that are doing well are saturated, but just like the book called The Blue Ocean, you can create a niche in a saturated business that nobody knew and actually create a mindset of tremendous amount of wealth. What one? I give you an example. Look at virtual assistants. They're constantly growing. You know why? Because people don't want to do minimal, monotonous job, painstaking work.
Emails, answer the same question. 60
Exactly.
times a day.
Exactly. So you can put a different spin on that, Tara, by offering more on the personal service side, because that's never going to come up short, because every person that's successful have a difficult part of their personality. I'm just going to be real with you, because we're very demanding.
Yes, and people think that's so.
And
Oh
that's
man,
not bad.
that's not bad. Like I think I've lost some people and I've gained some people because I'm like, listen, somebody said, "Man, you're hard to work for," and I'm like, I just expect a certain level of excellence, right? We're asking people to come on the road, come all over the place, meet us in places, eat dinner. We just want good outcomes for people. And also just in work, like people want to be informed and emailed. We've sent emails like 6 times to people and they're like, "Oh, I finally found all of them," right? And so we just want to always make sure that the customer has opportunity. Like we even have a phone number that people can reach out to on some of our platforms. And we personally call some of those people back, and Enrique, who's in the middle of the night, called those people back. So really, you just have to figure out what is in your town that's missing that you think you can put there, or can you take your services remote? It's completely up to you.
Exactly. And I'm going to chime into our friend Todd Billion and
Hmm.
tell you, first thing is you should be looking to do a digital business first and
Hmm.
foremost, because the real estate is free and create the product is one time and you could sell it infinitely. Okay. So I would assess first, personally, where I am financially, then assess my talents or my skills or my lack of skills. And then I would look at what businesses that I can create a niche in. Then I would say, get myself a system, get myself a team, get myself access and mentorship. And then I would apply the 4 dirty little words. Number 1, discipline. Number
Hmm.
2, accountability. Number 3, systems. You're going to keep hearing me say that. And then number 4, put that work in. And then be realistic.
Hmm.
Don't get caught into the microwavable, Twitter, IG world that, oh, I got to make $1 million in 1 minute.
Yeah.
No, let's be real. Business plans, when you pitch somebody in Silicon Valley, you're giving them a 5-7 year business plan, not a 5-7 day
Uh-huh.
plan, not a 5-7 month plan. It's a 5 to 7 year plan. Okay. So you should be realistically looking at, number 1, getting consumer debt under control. Number 2, get myself to 6 figures in 36 months to 60
Hmm.
months. And number 3, how do I sustain it without me being the magic or the self-employed person where I just bought myself a job
Right.
through systems? So again, if you want to know how that works, I got 20 years right here. The
Hmm.
ABCs of wealth. It says the common sense strategy to achieving the American dream. Now, here's the thing. Everybody want to be rich. Everybody be wealthy. But America was built on the success of middle class Americans,
Hmm.
small business ownership. Why are we getting taken over by China? Because they have 400 million people who are now middle class with discretionary income that are doing what? They are making the economy go. They are spending, buying cars, buying apartments, buying vacations. So they are incentivizing and adding to the GDP.
Hmm. Hmm.
And at that point, that economy comes the number 1 in the world. In addition to, they own a lot of our debt.
Hmm.
So your first goal, America was built. You may not like this, but it's real. Go do the research. Any dominant society, what was the backbone of it? It was the middle class. And
Hmm.
it's taught to you. How do I know this? Go back and study. When World War II happened, what happened? There was a deficiency in jobs and labor because they were building guns and military, operations to fight the war. But when they came back with the GI Bill, what are they able to do? They were able to get their first house. Then they were able to get their first car. Then they were able to move to the suburbs, middle class. Then they were able to save some money and put their kids in better schools, middle class.
Hmm.
The top 1%, that's an anomaly, okay? And then the bottom, they can't do anything because we got to take care of them. So who is the economy built on? Who's back? The middle class. So what's middle class? I'm not talking about your income. I'm talking about your wealth. If you have middle class wealth, you have $500,000 to $1 million in
Hmm.
hard assets that are sustaining your lifestyle. I'm gonna say that again. You have $500,000 to $1
Hmm.
million in hard assets that are sustaining your lifestyle. Now, if you look like me and Erica, 9 out of 10 times, you didn't have that. You didn't have a grandfather or a grandmother or a father and mother that was bequeathed some inheritance. You are first-time success. So you are dragging those people with your degrees and your high-earned middle or affluent income, but you don't have the wealth. And then you're wondering why you live next door to the white guy who's got a basic job and very little education, but he's still living in the same neighborhood you are. Because you know what? His grandparents owned some land. His dad owned a business, and they paid for his college, gave him the down payment for his house, and all he had to do is go work in a regular retail or non-stressful environment because he really middle class. And now you jealous, but don't get jelly. They say, don't hate the player, hate the game. If you can't beat them, join them. Do the research and figure out if I am the first person to achieve that, like I did, then set up the system for the next 30, 40, 50 years for your family.
I always tell people like this, like, you guys are doing it backwards, right? So in our neighborhood, my mom lives in an upper middle class neighborhood. That people own the house over here. One of our neighbors owned 3 houses in a row over here, right? We didn't know, but he paints them all the same color. So after a while, we started talking to him, right? So around the corner, there's a black couple, well-to-do. They've got 3 Mercedes in the driveway, but then had to get a new fence, and it took a minute. And I'm like, doing it backwards, people. You're doing it backwards. Got nice cars in the yard, no hole in the fence. Come on now. So some of this stuff is simple stuff.
Simple stuff, but again, common sense is not common knowledge. Let me share this with you too. Guess what? A lot of you saying, "Oh man, I already know that." But here's what I challenge you, because again, I've sat down with 25,000 people. How much of this stuff are you applying on the regular? See, that's where that accountability comes in. Literally did this week about 20 meetings with new members and a couple of existing members. And the first thing we talked about is their defensive oops strategy. And I said, you know what? I just had one. I just had a transmission go out in my most recent, newest vehicle. And so you know what most people do? They go to the dealership, go get that car note, and they keep rolling. But I'm like, this is a 2017, 2016 vehicle, fully loaded. Vehicle was worth like 50 grand when I got it, and I only paid 14 for it. There's a tip, okay? And I have a master mechanic who's part of my team, been with me for 8 years. There's another tip. I took it to him. He said, look, man, we could drop a new tranny in this bad boy, $3,500. Guarantee the tranny for 75,000 miles, and everything else on your car is good. It still looks like a brand new car. Why go out? And even if I put down $3,500 on a $60,000 car, which would be the equivalent, and now I got a $600-700 note, when I could take that money, go buy myself a real estate piece, invest in a business, then have it pay for that. Why would I do that? Because I'm not trying to pursue an image of wealth or riches. So you know what I did, Erica? I dropped the $3,500. I got the guarantee, and you will never know the difference, because that car I got, 7 passenger, all the tools, bless you, and the video screens and all that trappings, it still looked brand new, just like my neighbors. And I got a guarantee on it. So, and here's the best part about it, Erica. You gonna love this. That car is in my business name. So what does that become for me? 100% line item tax write-off. Damn. I dropped 35, got me a guarantee, and I'm still rolling to the hole. So now I take that 15, 20 that you're going to take, and I go buy me another asset, like Robert Kiyosaki says, and I make it pay for that. So then if I want to go out and get the Lexus or the whatever, when I think I got to have it, I go get it. But I had a defense plan in place called an emergency fund that had 24 months of my monthly expenses already set up. There's a tip. You know what I'm saying? So in the book,
he said image means nothing when the pockets are empty. Hey, they always talk about these women. Don't buy these $900 purses and you got $10 to put in.
let me tell you one reason why the people should get the book. Strategy S. So the ABCs of Wealth is 26 strategies that I've gleaned over 20 years that are principles that I live by, my members live by, small business owners and successful millionaires that we apply. And strategy S is the 7 spheres of money. The first thing it talks about is stop spending and start investing.
Mm-hmm.
Stop spending and start investing. And the first investment is in yourself. So kudos to everyone that came out to the Classy Climb tour and invested in themselves. Now, apply that knowledge by plugging into a system. Get yourself a team and then get access to the promised land of the top 20, top 10, and maybe one of you will make it to the top 1%. But the real freedom is the middle class wealth. Again, $500,000 to $1 million in hard assets that sustain your lifestyle. Because if you got $1 million in assets and it's passive income derived off, or if you just got a 7% return, that's $70,000 a year. If you live debt free with $70,000, I can tell you in America, you can buy a $300,000 house.
What's the number? It's if you make $90,000 a year in America, you make more than 87% of Americans.
Exactly.
So your neighbor Bob that you think is like, oh man, how Bob get that house? Listen, his parents didn't just use enough. When I was leaving East Carolina, my mom was like, hey, there was a group of girls buying like condo townhouses in Cary, and they were like 55,000, and it was like $3,000 down to close. If I could go back and do it again, because you can't get none of that in Raleigh now, ever.
Check this out. Here's another great thing is that another reason why mentorship and membership is important to you so you can have success if you're not done it, because that person or that team has already been through the valley.
Mm-hmm.
So right now we're in a pandemic. What is this pandemic similar to? It's similar to the Great Recession that we had in 2008. Mm-hmm. But if you're right now 25, 30 years of age, how old were you in 2008? You were in your early teens at best. Mm-hmm. So you weren't in this business world. So now you in this situation, you may have a little frazzle, a little panic about you, but Eric and I, we don't, because we done seen this video.
We seen it.
And most importantly, we made it through the video unscathed, and we came out on the brighter side doing better.
Listen, I saw somebody was like, why should I run ads right now? I'm like, honey, there's only so many hours you have in the day. And what happened in the last 2008? People that didn't run ads, their business went away. Exactly. People like, why are you doing a tour in the middle of pandemic? I'm like, don't worry, baby. I know what I'm doing.
Exactly. What do we talk about? I told them at the tour, I invested $12,500 and only made $3,000. Most people panic. Man, wow, you lost $10,000. No, I didn't. I invested in the foundation. Mm-hmm. Here's a tip. I've done this 12 times. I built 12 businesses. Guess what? 8 of them flat out crashed. Mm-hmm. Did not make it. But you know what? Yeah. 4 of them did. 3 of them, 7 figures.
Just need one.
Right. Just need one. And the 4th one is on the way to do 8 figures. So why am I panicking when I knew I had a system, I had a team, and most importantly, I got access to the top 1%. Common sense, baby. Common sense strategy, achieving American dream. And now I knew I was debt free. I didn't have a car note. So that was an investment. I was able to write it down. But you know what happened? 3 months later, we're making 5 figures. 12 months later, we're making almost 6 figures. There was no panic. But you know what happened? A couple of people on the team, Erica, they never been real entrepreneurs. They got off the boat. But Nick stayed on.
Listen, Nick Westbrook hanging in there, man.
Man, Nick getting paid now. Yeah. He getting paid. We'd had a couple of other people to the team as well. Mm-hmm. And I said, Nick, man, you are wiser beyond your, age. But here's the tip that Nick did. Nick invested in himself over 10 years ago, because not only does he have a degree, but he also is well read. Mm-hmm. He's read everything about entrepreneurs, small business owners. So he was able to tell that this is part of the process.
Well, did you see? I don't know if you heard, like last time we talked, I was saying I went to a couple conferences, and the people in there that are business owners, it ain't rocket science, and they are not. They're they're joking, calling them mouth readers, but like literally, guys, like, yeah, I had a credit card, I hired a guy, like I'm like, do you fix ACs? No, but I got this guy. I'm just getting the leads. And
Right.
so a lot of people are overthinking this thing for
The C
yeah,
the C
yeah.
students, the
Mm-hmm.
C students and the guys
Hiring
who
the A
failed
students.
out,
Yeah.
but they hiring the A and the B students.
So
I
it's just
mean, think
like, come
about
on.
that. I mean, that's the thing about. So that's what they go Nick right there. That's
Mm-hmm.
right. So what you want to be able to do to weatherproof yourself now? Let's say you starting where I was at 60 G's 525.
Mm-hmm.
It's bleak. You just got your car repoed. You just got your wages garnered. Right now, you probably thinking, man, I mean, it's time for me to jump off the roof. Trust
Don't
me.
do it. Don't do it. Hold
Don't
on.
do it. Don't
It
do it.
live a little bit longer. Things turn
Right.
around.
Don't do it. Stop. Take a deep breath. Assess again where you are. Then figure out what your talents are and what skills you have or you don't have that can be transferable in a digital world.
Mm-hmm.
And then find yourself, because see, here's the thing, God will make up for the things. If you are enthusiastic, which means God within, God will make everything available for you. I did not think that life was over for me when my car got repoed. Was I embarrassed? Absolutely. Was I hurt? Absolutely.
It's
But I
the
said,
pride
if this
hurt.
is one thing can happen to me, I ain't
Yeah.
going to jail.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I ain't dead. The only way up, baby, is up.
Listen, and here's the thing that I want really people to understand when I bring him on here. He talking about 90s. I'm talking about 2000s. You got a phone and a laptop. And some of y'all actually have some skill. You know, the other day my aunt was like, "Hey, can you put the Facebook on my phone?" And I'm like, "What? Just push the button." Yeah, I literally had to do step by step and put it on there for her. And what I want people to understand is there's some people out there who can't do that. They can't do apps, they can't do stuff. There is any kind of talent, any kind of gap in the market, there's place for you. Yes, DJ Money has a course. We're gonna put it in there in the side of the chat.
Check this out. You know what? You just said something very important, Erica.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do this. Can't. You know, when I'm engaging with people that offer me services, they tell me what I can't get from them. I asked them, I said, is it that you can't do it or you don't want to do it? Which one is it? Because if you can't do it, then put the person on the phone that can do it. But most of the cases, they don't want to do it because they want the reward without the work. They want the reward without the work. Again, there's no such thing as an overnight success.
Mm-hmm.
Again, every now and then you got a lottery winner, and guess what? That lottery winner is usually worse off because they have no financial IQ, they have no emotional quotient, and they have no financial education.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing they're going to do is they're going to project their image of insecurity through their materialism.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So this is for the people who want to have sustainability. I got 5 decades on this. I mean, not five. 5 decades on this planet. I got 20 years in this game.
Mm-hmm.
So I done seen everything. So I'm excited because guess what? What you're bringing, Erica, to these people, if all they have to do, again, is plug in 2 systems, get a team, take time to build a team. Guess what? Your first team is you, and you're wearing all those hats. But write a plan and get yourself personally assessed and then start executing on accountability. Twice a year minimum if you're an entrepreneur, 4 times if you're going to run a real small business. And then don't shortcut the shortcut and don't underpay the professional. Because see, here's what a great professional do for an up-and-coming person. They know a star when they see one. They will give you a little discount and they will grow with you if you are integrity-based. So another strategy in the book, I talk about invest with integrity. Invest with integrity. What does that mean? Because we all out here and we all want to get money fast, right? So investing with integrity means do the right thing by people. Be transparent with them. Don't try to get rich, get quick.
You know why they're trying to get rich quick? Because they haven't done the assessment yet.
Exactly.
Haven't done the assessment. They don't know. The biggest thing I've learned when I get on the phone with people is how much more do you want to make this year? And people never have a number. It's like more, just more. What's the more? How much? What's the number? Right?
Oh, you know, it's funny you say that. So when people say, hey, DJ, Erica, show me how to make 12, 15% return in the market right now on my investments. And then, I said, how many credit cards you got? Oh, I got 3 or 4. How much debt you got on? Oh, I got about 4,000, 5,000. What's the interest rate? Oh, 15 to 18%. Guess what? Put a plan together, pay those off. In 6 to 12 months, you just made yourself 15, 20% return. Boom. Oh, that ain't sexy. Yeah, it is. Because now you can take those minimum payments that you've been applying towards that debt and invest into an asset and start growing yourself. So when people ask me,
they hate that. Dave Ramsey does that to people and they hate it. They go, he's like, pay all them cards off. There you go. Yeah, get your money back.
Yeah. And then be in pursuit of financial freedom. I call it Wi-Fi. Why financial independence? Because again, check it out. You and I both bust our ass in August. I was on the road every weekend in August. Vegas, Atlanta, Florida, Chicago. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the, I literally went from your tour to a nice 7-day vacation because I had the freedom and independence to do it. And that's at the middle class wealth. I'm proud to say I am a middle class American with middle class wealth. And here's the thing. People want to go places that make $20, $30 million. What did the state of New York, state of California just mandate? Vaccination for what? Professional players. Why is that important? Because even though I make $20 million, I can't go do my job if I'm not vaccinated. But what if I don't believe in the vaccination? You just told me I can't do my job.
Yep. Put you out like Cam Newton.
Exactly. So if I'm free personally and I don't want to go to your stadium, I can go to Florida. I can go to Texas. I can go wherever and still enjoy being 100% me. And I don't need you to have me under your thumb, even though I make $20 million. So my question is that person really free? No, they're not. Because in the NFL, most of the cats, about 60% of them, are not even vaccinated. And here's the iron right part of it. And this ain't a PSA, but it just dawned on me is that if they're having all these protocols and the people with vaccinations are still contracting COVID, but they now have contact and you got to sit out, is that your fault? But now you can't do your job. You can't take care of your family, but you make 7 figures. That's the reality. So
and that's the thing. Yeah. If we literally could tell people, hey, Todd Millie's a good example where you're at work, they're not agreeing with you, they don't like what you're thinking or what you're talking about, and you just start investing off to the side. You start buying rentals with your money that you saved up or you got a small loan with, and eventually now people don't like what you have to say at work. You can step out of work.
Oh my!
You go be yourself.
What's going on now? Cancel culture. It's funny you said Cam Newton. Do you know that Cam Newton was the first victim of cancel culture?
Yep. Hey everybody, this is his YouTube channel. I know you guys keep asking in the comments. Right here, 7 Spears of Money. 7 Spears of Money. Okay, go ahead.
Think about this. Take it back when Cam Newton won the MVP. He used to have a big contract with that Greek yogurt company.
Yep.
And he did an interview with a reporter and he laughed at her question. Was like, yeah, really? Serious? You want me to answer that? Right there, they didn't like his response and the yogurt company dropped him like a hot cake. Now, on the back end, he's now a victim of COVID. The beginning of cancel culture, now a victim. And here's the case. Now, this is a guy that went from making $22 million a year to last year he made $500,000 to now he gonna make $0.
Wait, but did you see what he did in the meantime? He created a show that he sold to ESPN. He did 8 interviews at his cigar lounge in Atlanta that he owns.
He had to.
Yeah, you got to start using up here.
Right, he had to, which is great. He did that, but he still lost a lot of money. And he still wants to be in the right process of the NFL. He don't want to stop playing the NFL right now.
Yeah, he just got better. Just got his arm fixed.
Right, exactly. So, man, kudos to Esma Ray.
Thank you, Esma Ray. Awesome.
632 credit score, now 746, got 10 months emergency fund. Kudos. That's part of the plan. Now, plug into a system and get yourself a team. Because here's what I'm going to tell you. Success is a team sport. And entrepreneurship is the best game in town, but it's the hardest game in town.
Because
nobody likes to talk about them down times, them bleak times, and the assault on your personal psyche when you the only one that got this vision and nobody else believes in it. But they always, when you make it, oh, I was always on your team.
I was always there. Yeah, girl, I knew you was gonna make it. Listen,
Oh yeah,
every business is seasonal. I told somebody that the other day, and they were like, "No, no, no, no." I said, "Listen, every business in America, there's some season in the business that's not hot cakes. It just
exactly.
is."
And when you get to the point where you are consumer debt free and you have financial independence, I'm gonna trip you guys up right here. Check this out. Do you realize that a lot of people have illiquid assets, that they don't have liquidity, and they have $1 million opportunities? And if you just came across with 20, 40, $50,000, you can actually super seed and advance yourself into $1 million status. I'm gonna say it again. If you consumer debt free, you got financial independence, which the definition for financial independence in the 7 spheres of money is you have your recurring expenses 2x with passive income through business, real estate, and leveraging the tax laws. And when I'm building up all this money and I've got 24 months of emergency fund, and some guy who's wealthy, who's got illiquid assets, needs $40,000, $50,000 that he never would talk to you, but you got the money at the right place, right time, you now have leverage, and you just catapulted yourself into a 7-figure opportunity. And y'all probably saying, that's crazy. Guess what? I meet a lot of cats that got a lot of assets that have no liquidable cash flow, and they need where you can broker deals, which lead me back to chapter N in the ABCs of Wealth. Negotiate, 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 because everything's negotiable when you got 800 credit score, no consumable debt, and 6 figures and accessible cash. You can get yourself in a multi-million-dollar deals. And I give you 3 guesses, and the first it don't count, how I can guarantee you I'm telling you the truth, and it's right like rain. Make a stab at it. And while you're doing that, I'm gonna talk to you in the ABCs of Wealth about letter K, strategy K. Kill them with kindness, with the killer instinct. And this is important because, Erica, I learned this lesson. I used to be the bull in the china shop. I had no people skills. I was just running right through. I knew what I want. I burned a lot of bridges. And then I realized that, you know what? You can get more things done by being kind to people, having humility, and being empathetic to people. And you can still have that killer instinct and get a lot more accomplished. So if you take those together, you now have the blueprint. And then the most important one is going to be the stickiness to the glue is letter L. Love with loyalty. Love with loyalty, because you have to have a vetting process for how you bring people on your team. And kudos to you again. Shout out to Stephanie, which people call her Stephanie.
It's Stephanie, but on the internet she puts an A on it. I call her, it's Stephanie with an A.
Right.
I be calling it.
But she did a phenomenal job, and her loyalty to you was unprecedented. And she had a yeoman's job, and she was just knocking it out. So when I'm talking about love with loyalty, it's a skill, soft skill that we got to develop. And we got to be willing to give people a second, sometimes a third chance if they share. And this is the most important piece about it. I'm going to read this to people because this is important, because, again, I had to learn this. And I would be quick, because sometimes I could be high-performing people are very difficult to work with at times, okay? I'm going to say that again. High-performing people are difficult, but there's 5 vetting processes to love people with loyalty, okay? When you're developing these 5 common factors in your business partners, your friends, and your investment advisor, rule number 1, do they share the same principles with you? Rule number 2, would you trust them alone with your family? Rule number 3, did you establish expectations about the business relationship up front? Reginald F. Lewis. Number 4, what are your skills, responsibilities, and duties to the team? And number 5, how do you measure success or failure? This is strategy L, love with loyalty. I recently just had that experience, and I had to go back. I got to bite my tongue, and I got to talk to a team member, let the emotions, reside, because I'm human. And I looked at them 5 principles in chapter L, strategy L, love with loyalty, and I found myself being guilty.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to go back, bite my tongue, and apologize and show some humility, because this person represented 5 of those skill sets, 5 of those principles. So I don't lose a high value person because I can be difficult at times, because yes, I expect things to go a certain way, because like Michael Jordan. So there's 3, let me give you 3 models, okay, to emulate, okay? 3 models to emulate, all right? Number 1 model is called the Steph Curry model. If you're watching this, I want you to write this down. The Steph Curry model. What's the Steph Curry model? Steph Curry's dad was a super 3-point shooter, a specialist, made a great living. What his father, Dale Curry, did is took Steph and his brother and put them around professional athletes by the time they were age 3 on up. You feel me? So you have all the talent you're going to have once you came out the womb. You don't get more talent. You get more skill. You don't ever get more talent. All right? So since Steph and his brother were accustomed to being around professional NBA players at the age 3 on up, when they got in the room to perform with them, there was no uncomfortableness. They felt like they belonged. So that's what enabled Steph Curry to become the greatest 3-point shooter of all time, because he had the talent, but most importantly, he had the comfort level to not be too young to get rattled by those professionals who he's coming to take their job. So that's the Steph Curry model, okay? Who should you put in the Steph Curry model? Your children, your nieces, your nephews, early as possible. Get them in around. If you discern they got a talent, put them around the professionals. And this is what Tim and them were talking about, is that, hey, your son, when we shout out to William, Tim Jackson's son, he was at the event. Man, I was so happy, so enthralled with him that I tried to pour everything I could into him. And I told him, I said, guess what? The fact, William, that you can talk to me like an adult, that's an asset. Because you're going to be an adult longer than you ever going to be a kid. And if you talk to me like an adult, I'm going to treat you like an adult, and I'm going to open up doors that normally kids would never get into. So I put my children, from the day they can talk and walk, in the Steph Curry model. And you should do the same. So that's the Steph Curry model. All right. The next model of negative is the Cam Newton model. What's the Cam Newton model? I want y'all to write this down. Cam Newton or LeBron James, they have unworldly talent that even better than anybody on the planet that are in their league. They do stuff that nobody can do. So since they do that, tendency is they don't develop the soft skills, the refined skills. I don't learn how to do, tight end passes. I don't learn how to do, route passes. All I know how to do is throw the long bomb and run people over, because I'm 6'5", 265 pounds. I'm bigger than linebackers. I'm bigger than defensive ends. And I've gotten everything I needed from that incredible super talent that God gave me. But since I didn't develop the soft skills or the refined passing skills, my body is now taking a beating. I can no longer be Superman, Cam Newton. And at 32 years of age, in my prime, I'm now a backup quarterback at best. That's the Cam Newton model. Guess what? If you are super talented, super gifted, better than anybody, where you never had to work on refining your skills, don't get in that box. And then the last box is the Michael Jordan box. And I don't care what you think about Michael Jordan, but here's what Michael Jordan knows. Everybody's coming to see Michael Jordan. And if it's your first time and you spent good money, I'm going to be the Michael Jordan you expect me to be. I'm going to be on my A game, even if my dog died, even if I got the flu, but I showed up and you spent your $1,000 to see me play one time and one time only. I'm going to be MJ 24/7, 365, so you can have the MJ experience. Why is that important? Because when we were on that tour, everybody who had an inkling of who we were, they only wanted to see the star. When they invested them hundreds of dollars to come to the tour, they didn't want to see, hey, DJ, man, why you down today? Oh, man, my dog died, man. Blah. What? I already had a problem. Lift me up. Be Erica from the Classy Climb. Be DJ, the money coach, that's uplifting people and telling them about system, team, and access. And then when you back in your room, you could be whining and complaining. But right now, I need to see the Michael Jordan model. So I'm going to give you those 3 models again. Steph Curry, that's for the young, prejudiced talent. Put them around the professionals and the pros as early as you can. Number 2, Don't be the Cam model where you are the super talent amongst men, amongst boys like LeBron James, and don't develop your skills. Develop them skills. Learn how to shoot free throws. Learn how to do short passes. Learn how to put the bunt down versus hitting a home run all the time. And then when you arrive to the top of the mountain at Mount Everest and you are the Michael Jordan, the superstar that they all come to see, don't be nothing but MJ. Be tight in your suit. Have a polished car. Every time they see you, have a smile on your face. Shake a hand. Why is that important? Because if you develop these skills, you will never have to worry about being free in America and anywhere on the planet. And again, in the ABCs of wealth, the common sense strategy of achieving American dream, these are things that we've lived, we've seen, and we help people get that. And then at the end of the day, you can have the P.O.M lifestyle, which is plenty of money, peace of mind. And come join us on the Beaches of the World Club, because now you have knocked down all your consumable debt. You've gotten your credit score to 800. You built a business. You took the top line revenue from the business and bought real estate, which is a tax leveraging move, and you put it in the proper entity structure. I don't care if it's LLC. I don't care if it's C Corp, S Corp, LP, GP. You did it the right way, and now you leverage the tax laws, and now you don't have to hate on Warren Buffett, Jeff Bezos, because you didn't beat them. You joined the game and learned the system, and you now got access, and now you make the money because you invested in yourself at the end of the day, and you were wise enough to get mentored to have accessibility.
Listen, all day. Listen, ABCs of Wealth, y'all grab that book. They asking where we get it from, but right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show a video real quick, and I'm gonna get you guys get me some questions after this, okay?
Everybody, this is DJ the Money Coach coming to you in the beautiful Destin, Florida. And I just got back from amazing world tour. Well, it's not a world tour, but in essence, it could be a world tour with the Classic Climb Tour. Shout out to Erica Williams for the Classic Climb Tour and ATL. Shout out to Tim Jackson. Shout out to Andre Hackett. Shout out to Todd the Billionaire. Shout out to James King. Shout out to all my friends who did an amazing speaking job and sharing the wealth of freedom to people. And all it takes is 4 words that you got to do. They're dirty little words. The first one is discipline. The second one is accountability. The third one is plug into a system that's successful. And the fourth one is do the work. And when you do that, you can achieve the P.O.M lifestyle, which is plenty of money, peace of mind. And then you can come join us on the Beaches of the World Club. So check this out. Literally, I was just in the ATL last night speaking on stage with my friends. And now, because I took the time to build the ABCs of wealth, to achieve the common sense strategy to achieve an American dream, I now have this. Look at that. Yeah, man. Isn't that something? So you can have this too. But let me tell you a little tip. You have to master the hard things in life while you're young, and life gets easier. You master the easy things in life, and life gets hard as hell, almost impossible to live the older you get. So I'm going to say that again. Master the hard things in life when you're young, and life gets easier, and it gets like this for you for the rest of your life. That's what I'm talking about. So you can have it too. All you got to do is come join us. And it's real simple. I wrote this book in 20 years of success. And it's a common sense strategy of achieving the American dream. And you too can come out here and enjoy this amazing lifestyle. So if you want to do that, get this book right now below, The ABCs of Wealth, The Common Sense Strategy Achieving American Dream. It's 20 years in the making to help you achieve the P.O.M lifestyle. That's plenty of money and peace of mind. And you can come join us on the Beaches of the World Club. I'm DJ the Money Coach. I'll see you on the beaches of the world, because you deserve it, have it as well. And all you got to do is achieve 4 dirty little words: discipline, accountability, plug into the system, and go to work. And you too can have the P.O.M lifestyle. That's plenty of money, peace of mind. Come join us on the beaches of the World Club. So hit that link below. The first 10 people to get the book, The ABCs of Wealth, The Common Sense Strategy to Achieve an American Dream, you get an autographed copy. And I'll even give you a 10-minute complimentary consultation for the first 10, because that's the kind of guy I am to help you achieve the American dream. I'll see you next time.
Okay, DJ, you out there living your best life. We see you. We see you. You had to get the shape to goatee off, came back, make your face. I see what you do. Did you see the?
You got my face turning red. I didn't know you were gonna show that video.
Did you see the clip you gave a shout out in? Let me see if I can get it. We got you in that video.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
But they just didn't really grasp to it.
I think you're in here in this one because we made 3 different clips.
Damn, right there.
Now your shout out is coming. Hold on, you coming. Let me see. Hopefully it ain't buffering. Tolero made an appearance. People are asking for the link they want to purchase. So
it's right there. You should have it.
It's in the chat, you guys. I'm putting it in the chat.
Got it. Yep. The link is right there in the chat, and we'll even extend it. So we'll do the first 20 people, because 10 go fast. So the first 20 people, you get the autographed copy, you get the T-shirt, and I'll give you a 10-minute complimentary consultation, and that's a value of $250. And all you have to do to get the consultation, ladies and gentlemen, is fill out a budget sheet and a survey. I will not sit down with you unless you do that, because we got to start with a personal assessment. We got to assess where you are, and then we show you the system, and then we can get you onto the pathway of achieving American Dream. And when I'm talking about American Dream, I'm talking about something that's going to take 36 to 60 months to sustain it for a lifetime.
Y'all be tripping. Anytime you shave your face, they call you Jarrell. They call you Drake. They call you all kind of stuff up in here. Y'all be tripping.
Hey, I love it. You can call me whatever you want to, as long as I keep going to the bank and take care of my family and take care of my peeps like you.
Don't call me collect.
Exactly.
Somebody said, yeah, I'm 43. It got harder. Was not disciplined when I was younger and paying for it now. Listen, y'all, I'm telling you, like, no matter what it is, whether we're talking about health, wealth, fitness, you have to literally stay committed to it. And even on the road, what's funny is so many people are like, hey man, I got this for you. Hey, like even in here, people are like, hey, can I send supplements to your office? I'll put my address up there. Send them to me. I'll take them. So, thank you for being here. And it was a world tour because half the people in the audience were from somewhere else other than Atlanta. We have Shreveport, Louisiana. We had Nashville. We had Virginia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and Florida. So it was technically a world tour.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think you got another leg coming to the hometown, right?
We're holding off. We're holding off on it because we're trying to see everybody in the pandemic. Some hotels are starting to change the rules, so we're going to wait about a week, and then we get a good all clear. Then we'll make sure we keep it moving.
Why keep my mouth shut?
I know. We just want to make sure because these hotels are like, oh, it's so nervous, and then they'd be like, well, we can do it. They'd be like, look, y'all make
my grandfather used to tell me, sinking lips sink ships.
Hey,
lips sink ships.
We want to do a big Texas closeout at this point. So for the year,
we're gonna make it happen. But I'm gonna tell you, man, the great thing about this, ladies and gentlemen, hey, if what we're sharing with you is not for you, find the person or the people that you resonate with. Okay, I'm gonna give you the grocery store concept. When you go to the grocery store, if you're going to get eggs, bacon, and milk, you don't go get the cake. You don't go get the ice cream. You just go in that big old store and you go to the back and get the eggs, the bacon, and the milk. And that's what you need to do. Okay? Find the winning situation and the winning person that you can relate to. And then plug into the system that they have for you. And make sure it's a vettable system. Okay? So in the tour, I showed them real receipts. And I don't even use that word, but that's the word for the millennials and the people younger than the millennials. I showed them my real resume. The people on our team got real resumes, ladies and gentlemen. You know, you ever heard of this little small company called ExxonMobil? My number one CPA, James Lane Jr., used to do their P&Ls for billion-dollar tax returns, and they were never came up short on any audits. That's one of my CPAs in the 7 spheres of money system that's been 20 years. It'll be 20 years old in 2022. Okay. Another one of our CPAs, Mary Lou Helm, used to be the CFO for Tyson Foods. She's on my team. We got in the business together to become security licensed back in 2001. My attorney, Lisa K. Shebar, she used to represent McDonald's hamburgers. She was their number one trade and litigation attorney for several years. She's my number one attorney. Been with me for 15 years. My financial advisor, Melvin Hobson, he's been with me for 18 years. We started in the financial planning business together, built it up to $50 million, and then I went into the bill pay business, and he stayed in. He manages our portfolio. Not only does he have a Series 65, which gives you asset under management, he has a Series 7, which covers all stocks. He has a Series 6 that's for annuities and a Series 63 for mutual funds. Oh, by the way, did I tell you he's bilingual in Spanish, and he has an SHPR certification in the HR business. You think he might know something about systems and administrative to help you run a real business. You feel me? And then on the commercial real estate side, we have a gentleman named Steve Tolliver, who's been doing commercial real estate for 18 years. Hotels, commercial property, multiplex, 40, 50 million, 1 million. So there ain't nothing we ain't seen. And I'm going to challenge you. Go find a better team in the middle class that can offer you access to a family office. That's the ABCs of wealth and the common sense strategy to achieve an American dream. If you're serious and you are ready to get down and be free, you need to get the ABCs of wealth for you and somebody in your family. And here's what I'll tell you. If you don't like what it says in the book, I'll give you your money back because you need the book. It's a compilation of everything we're doing. And today we're taking people to the next level and giving them the accessibility. So I'm going to leave you with this one last acronym that you need to apply in your life. If you never see me again, you need to write this down. STEAM, S-T-E. Yeah, I'm sorry, STEAM. That stands for science, technology, entrepreneurship, access to mentorship or membership. And why is that important, ladies and gentlemen? Because I just got taken to the next level. I was at the NBA Summer League semifinals, VIP status, sitting in a room with multi-billionaires who gave me access to one of the number one cryptocurrency funds on the planet. Over $5 billion in assets. And guess what? That gentleman is going to come speak to our executive members in December. And you know why he's going to do that, Erica? Because he liked my son. You know why he liked my 17-year-old son? Because he been in the Steph Curry model from the day he was able to speak at 6 years of age. And he went in, started talking to these executives, didn't know who they were. And next thing I know, he got 3-4 guys worth billions of dollars coming up to me, introducing them to me. I'm like, oh, man, that's so-and-so on CNN. Oh, this your son? Yeah. Oh, man, he's sharp as a tack. He speaks this guy was, man, he speaks better than some 30 and 40-year-olds that I do business with. And his confidence and his humility and his respect is old school. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's what it's all about. And when you have that freedom, man, it's unparalleled what you can do when you are totally peaceful, 100% you, 100% of the time.
I love it. I love it.
That's what I love about you, Erica. You are 100% you all of the time.
I wore boots in Atlanta and I wore regular flats in DC. I said, no, I'm gonna relax today. But that's the choice. When you get to build something up, you get to be you. If you build it up, if you create the opportunities.
Ain't nothing like being 100% you and not a second-rate copy of somebody else. And that just requires freedom. It don't require FU money, because guess what? If the NBA player got 20 million, but he don't want to be vaccinated, he ain't got freedom. If the NFL player ain't vaccinated and they tell him he can't come to the game or he got to take 500 tests, and if he's around the guy who got the vaccination, who still got COVID, just because he was in the same room, he got to be on protocol for 6 days.
Yeah.
He don't have nothing, but he got to be on protocol. He ain't free.
Listen, flexibility, y'all. Thank you for coming through. I really appreciate you. Listen, Tammy said that's why we like her. It's real. Listen, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't like your delivery. I'm like, there's 30 million YouTube channels, baby. Go find your star. Go find your beacon. Go find the people. Go find your tribe. Go get your tribe. They're out there.
We ain't for everybody.
Hopefully you'll if you get a chance, come by FidCon around the 22nd through the 25th if you can. It's in Austin. I don't know. I think I might do a little mini meetup up there. We'll see what we can do because it's just going to be so many people in the city at one time. And we're going to see what we're going to do for Houston. We're going to see how we're going to get Houston rolling.
We're going to be there. We're going to be there. So if y'all want to see, Erica and DJ the Money Coach together again, we'll be there.
All right, you guys. So this is your girl Erica of Classy Climb Blog, DJ the Money Coach. Tell them where they can find you on the internets, the interwebs, this man's internet.
Oh yeah, you can find me at DJThemoneyCoach.com. DJThemoneyCoach.com. On IG, you can find me at 7 Spheres of Money. The number 7, SPHERESMONEY. And you can same thing on Facebook as well, and on Twitter as well. And we're going to make it a purpose to do a little bit more marketing and get us, exposure more, because I just don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, but and here's the thing. There's plenty of time left in the year. We got 4 more months almost, so we got time.
Of year. And what you should do, shameless plug, you should get the ABCs of Wealth, brand new, written for you guys. The Common Sense Strategy Achieving American Dream. You'll get the P.O.M Lifestyle t-shirt. Become a member of the P.O.M Lifestyle. Plenty of money, peace of mind, and join us on the beaches of the World Club. Because here's the thing. Erica and I, we go on the beach every month. Ain't nothing special about that.
I'm telling people. No.
hey, but here's the thing. Ain't
it's
nothing
the look in your
about
family's
that.
eyes. It's the look in your family's eyes when you go.
Ain't nothing special about it, though, ladies and gentlemen. We just plugged into a system. We got ourselves assessed. We got ourselves a team. And then we got access. So when we want to, we can too. So as American Gangster said, do what you have to do so you can do what you want to do. And you can be 100% you. So hit that link below, invest, and come join us on the beaches of World Club, because at the end of the day, I really, truly want you to have the P.O.M lifestyle. That's plenty of money and peace of mind. Come join us on the white beaches of the World Club, because you deserve it.
Love it. All right, you guys. This is your girl Erica for Classic Climb Blog. I'm going to go take my Mucinex and go lay down. Thank you. I appreciate every single person who comes to the channel today. We've had over 3,000 people come in between this live and the live we did earlier, and I want to thank every single one of you, because you guys make this channel great. You make it interactive and you make it fun. And thank you, DJ the Money Coach, for coming on the tour with us. Thank you for introducing us to Tolero Liquor. It's a Black-owned tequila company. And so, you can always use the discount code CLASSY on that one. And definitely check out the first link in the chat. It has DJ the Money Coach links for his discount. And so you can get the t-shirt and you can get the book, everybody. I'm going to go lay it down.
Autograph copy. Thank you guys for supporting that video that went viral that we did.
Oh yeah. We're at 91,000. It slowed down. I was like, oh, we're gonna make it to 100,000, but it's all good. It's like my third largest video on the channel. The other 2 videos have 135,000, so we're almost there. So
and you know what? If you can do us one selfish ask, if you guys can subscribe to our channel, I just found out that we got to be at 1,000 in order to do some other stuff I didn't know about.
Yeah.
So if you guys can do us a favor, go subscribe to the 7 Spheres of Money channel and help us get to 1,000 subs, because that's what my team needs for them, not for me. But we appreciate everything that you guys invest in us, and we're going to apply the platinum rule. And that means we're going to treat you the way you want to be treated all the time. And shout out to Isaac Okai. We're going to make everything right for you. We missed one of your meetings, which is very rare, and we're going to give you some extra stuff, Isaac. So shout out to you, because if we can't help you at your level, we don't deserve to be doing what we're doing.
All right. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.